There was Brenda. How old was Brenda? About 2. Pat was about 4, I should imagine. There was Mavis.
Yeah.
They was my 2 brothers and sisters. And that night, no sign had gone. Look, we had been bombed before, but nothing to worry about. But my mother said, I want you to take these down to the shelter that night. And I said, oh, well, I got to take them, like, you know. I was going to take them down the shelter. So it's what we had a full moon, and they used to call it a bomber's moon, because when Jerry come over, he could see everything. But in the meantime, we didn't know that the German High Command had planned a fucking big raid on Coventry.
Yeah.
And the intelligence services was trying to work out where it was going to be, and they couldn't.
Oh, I see.
Till after it started. So at any rate, we went down to the shelter.
Yeah.
So it goes down to this. We never had proper shelters.
Yeah.
It was the cellars in this factory. So all fucking people was piling there, and we sat in this fucking little fucking cubby hole with a single bulb in the ceiling. And about fucking 2 or 3 hours later, there was this fucking almighty bang. And there was an old dear in the cellar with us, and she said, what's that? I said, it's probably our guns firing, but we'd had a direct hit. It was a 5-storey building, it only come through and blown the first fucking 3 floors off and set light to the rest of the place.
Yeah.
So we sat there and this light flickered. And then smoke came into the fucking place there. So the light went out, and I said to them, get down on the floor because smoke rises, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I dragged them out, like, and everything's pitch black by now, and we go from cellar to cellar. And we get outside, and everything's alight. The fucking road that way, it's all the rubble's filled up with rubble, this way is filled up with rubble, but this factory was split in 2, and the flames was forming an arch. So I said to Brenda, I picked Pat up under one arm and Brenda in the other, and I thought, I'm going fucking run through there, get away from these flames, see? Because I know the streets was wider once we got through here.
Yeah.
So, and I said to Mavis, I undone my coat, I said, hang on to my coat and don't let go whatever you do. Because she was about 7. So we ran through, everybody was shouting, come back, come back. So whether I'm fucking like burnt to death, I don't know, but we got through. And this road, like, you know, there's all these fucking houses still burning either side, but the road was wide apart, so you could get through without fucking getting burnt.
Yeah.
And then we got to a little space, and you know, you step on ice, you start slipping.
Yeah, yeah.
I suddenly started slipping all over the place, and when I looked down, I'm slipping on fucking bits of what was a body blown to bits. There was all bits of meat and everything else, and I thought, oh, for fuck me. And it was starting getting light by this time, so then we got a bit further up the road, and there was this fucking body sticking out the rubble, and just the legs, and all the sparks are coming out of the legs.
Yeah.
But it was a light, and we got round the corner, and what was left of the fucking house, my parents was there. My mother was crying her eyes out, and no roof, no fucking doors, no windows, no ceiling. What was left of the house. So, you know, we had nothing to eat because we had no electricity, no water, no nothing. So we had to go out that day, go without. And then they started sending these catering vans down from London.
Yeah.
They started clearing the roads from the rubble, and they we started eating from them, like, you know. And German planes were still going over in daylight, taking photographs. At any rate, that was it, and then they cleared the roads eventually a couple of days later, and there was a Leamington Spa, a little town outside Coventry.
Yeah.
And they took us there and we had to sleep on the floor in this pub to get our night's sleep. Then we was taken back to the town the next day to eat our sandwiches off these whatsits, and that's how it carried on for several weeks or months till they started getting everything together again to get the town out.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't put the fucking fires out because there was no water. So what the army done, they came in and started blowing buildings up because the flames were spreading from one lot to the next.
Yeah.
That's what they done.
I watched the program about that actually.
Hey?
And they blew the buildings up, didn't they?
Yeah. So that was that. And then everything went quiet then for a bit. So then we used to get a couple of bombs come over and oh fucking hell, he's stuck in bed there, he's right, fucking mild, bang, bomb, wallop, smack. And then April, the following April, oh, these fucking bombs whistling down. I thought, that's a bit fucking close. So the old man was asleep and the old lady, I went, I said, here, you're talking bombs again. Oh, yeah, fuck me, boom, boom, and they started coming down. Then the flare came down. Once those flares come down, you know they're after you. That's your target.
Oh, I see.
He says, right, that's it. So down we go, get up from bed, goes downstairs, under the stairs, because it was the safest place, they said, next to the fucking gas meter. We'd have got fucking it, we'd have got gassed. Anyway, it got so bad then the windows came in, fucking blast bomb dropped in the garden. So it went from the under the stairs, across the road to somebody's shelter in the back garden. And the incendiary bombs was dropping there, left, right and centre. Well, the incendiary bombs, before you could put a bit of dirt over them, they'd go out. But these used to explode. So I was lying at the bottom of these fucking steps in this shelter, and this incendiary bomb dropped right close, so he just threw some fucking sand over it. And it blew up, and it blew him down the steps on top of me. Not a bloody wind out of me. So with that, we all had to get out of this garden shelter, and we went up to the public shelter at the top of the road. All the shrapnel's raining down like fucking hailstones from our guns. So anyway, we get in this shelter, and my grandmother's in there, like, you know, and in there, and the fucking bombs start getting worse and worse, all the dirt's trickling through the top, the explosions. So my grandmother turned around and she said, it's a shame you got to die so young, she said. I thought, fucking great, isn't it? She said, I've had my life, she said, but it's a shame you got to die so young. Which cheered me up no end. So,
Got a smile on your face.
Anyway, an air raid warden suddenly blew a whistle. He said, everybody out. He said, this is going to fucking get blown apart. See? So, what he said after that, he probably said, everybody to the common. But I didn't hear him say that, so my family, all of and the other people, they headed for the common. Well, I was going home. At any rate, so I got out of this shelter, and all the smoke and flames, you couldn't see anything hardly. And I was heading back for home, which was the opposite direction to the common. And all of a sudden this fucking bomb came screaming down. And it was getting louder and louder and louder. So I dived into the, I ran, and I dived into the rubble. And that's all I remember till I came round, and I woke up at the bottom of this fucking massive crater. Fucking red eye was burning my back, through my coat. And I thought, I'm not going to fucking die down there. If I'm going to die, I want to die up there. You know, I had a job to get out of this bloody crater. It was so steep and deep. And as I was climbing up it, there was this iron pipe sticking out part of the top, whether it's a gas pipe or water pipe, I don't know. But I wrapped my legs round it when I got to the top, and the fucking thing broke away, didn't it? So it went down and down with me hanging onto it, down to the bottom of the crater again. But it dug some holes there on the way down. So I used these to get out. And I thought, oh, well, I've got to get out of here somehow or other. So when I got to the top and got on the ground, with all the fucking rubble there, I thought, I'll get down the end of this fucking road, I'm going to get out of this place, get to the common, out the way. And as I got about 20 or 30 yards away, this boy said, help me. And it was this young girl, I suppose she's about 15. I think what had happened was, I dived in the rubble when I heard this what's it down, she tried to run. And the blast caught her and threw her against this wall. I think it broke both her legs because they was all folded up a different fucking way. And she said, help me. So I went over to her and tried to pick her up, and she screamed because she said, oh, my legs. So, oh, fuck me. So she said, have they gone, the planes, like, you know, and I pulled her head into my coat, put my hand over her ear because I heard the next fucking load of planes coming in.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, they've gone, like, you know. And these fucking planes came over and they let the bombs go. And they all exploded at the end of the fucking road where I would have been. Talk about fate. If I hadn't stopped for her, I'd have been down there, caught the lot. And all these fucking houses went up down the end of the road. And with that, 2 army blokes turned up with stretchers. You know, rescue services. And they put her on the stretcher and off they went, left me there, like, you know. So I made my way down the road to this, amongst the rubble, and climbed over the rubble there, and down the rubble, over the rubble. And then I got to this bridge, railway bridge, and my family was there underneath the bridge, sheltering from the bombs. And they was looking for me, but my brother said, there he is. And I was sitting on top of this fucking rubble, exhausted. And this fucking German plane came over. Yeah. And he had his cowling of his plane back. And he looked at me and his fucking mouth was open. As if to say, fuck me, somebody's still alive down there. Never done nothing. And then he was gone. And then we all made our way to the common. Until, well, there's no all clear because everything had been destroyed again. So that was it, and then they came along and down came the old fucking catering things again, and that was it. And then I started work, 14, on aircraft engines, and the war was going on. I thought, well, let's have a bit of the action. And when I was at this factory, I used to sleep there sometimes. There's a fire watch. Yeah. Any incendiary bombs were up, we used to go across the roofs, they had steps up. Used to put fucking sand over them or whatever was going. And I used to sleep there, you used to get all your meals in the canteen. And then as the war gone on, oh fuck, it's like, you know, I've had nothing. I joined the Home Guard when I was 15. I got fed up with that. Then I volunteered for the Merchant Navy, and that was it. I was in the Merchant Navy, and then I was on tankers, cargo ships, the Queen Mary, troop carrier.